record this and I'll post it after. Alrighty. So, welcome. How was your day?
It was lovely, very relaxing.
All right. So, maybe let's start by having you share a little bit of your story. So, around how you've used positive self-talk to help you.
Sure. So I was adopted as a baby, and so with adoption comes just issues with abandonment and just rejection and negativity and struggling to trust people. And so all of those fun things. And so for a long time, I was just this angry person who didn't trust anybody, who never smiled, and who had a really difficult time making any friends. And it wasn't until 2007 when I started being interested in business and just really the network marketing industry that I started to learn about personal growth, which is a term I had never even considered before. And so through different business seminars and different trainings that I was learning about, they were really stressing mindset and positive talk and that kind of thing. And at first I just rolled my eyes and was like, what is that going to do? What difference is that possibly going to make? But then I saw the other people who were succeeding and I was like, well, I want that. So I'm just going to start to mirror what these people are doing. And so that was kind of the journey of how I started to learn about just positive self-talk and just being really careful what you speak over yourself and what you're putting out there because it really matters and it actually does make a huge difference. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. So it wasn't until like the last few years where for myself, I've really started hearing a lot about mindset, just in the education field, teaching our students to have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. So how has your shift in mindset really changed things for you? Because it really does matter and it's not talked about a lot.
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely matters. So before, whenever things would happen in my life, whether they were good or bad, if they were good, then I was just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. And if they were bad, then it was just kind of like, well, yeah, of course, that's just what happens. Cancel clear. And so that's who I was. And learning how to just have just positive self-talk and being focused on the positive helps me when I went through cancer in 2012. This was 5 years of me learning about growth, about positivity, about, just watching what I say and how I choose to go through things. And so when I was diagnosed with cancer, I literally smiled at the doctor and was like, okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. And but the thing is, I had just had my son 3 months before, and I had this horrific pain, and the doctors didn't take me seriously. And so when the pain came back 3 months later, and accompanied a pregnancy test, I was like, oh no. And so I thought maybe I was having just a messed up pregnancy and they were going to have to abort, and which I wouldn't have done. And so I was bracing myself for all these things. And so when he said that it was cancer and there was no baby, I was relieved. And I know that would not have been my response years before. And so being relieved and being able to smile through that and just focus on everything that was going well instead of the fact that I was going through cancer and chemotherapy. And, it's normally a really scary thing, but instead I was just, I was like, hey, I always wanted to know what I would look like bald, and now I know, and I look great, and I was so relieved that there was no baby, that I was going to have that horrible conversation and possibly lose a baby. And so I was like, well, this, this is great. And we would go to the hospital and we would be stuck in traffic. And I would just say, wow, man, I'm so glad that I don't have like a 9-to-5 job. Like, how do people do this every single day? Like, I literally
Mhm.
focus on every single positive thing that I could. And people were shocked, especially my family, because they had known me for,
Mhm.
my entire life. And so my brother called me at one point and was like, what is the matter with you? You're not taking cancer seriously. I was like, I am. It's just, I can go through it crying and feeling sorry for myself, or I can go through it with a smile on my face, writing thank you cards to my nurses and doctors. And they
Yeah.
were like, you're the happiest person we've ever met. And I was like, oh, you didn't know me before. So it has made a massive difference. And I've gone through, just different things like that. Life-threatening things kept happening to me. I was always like this grinny girl. And the doctors were like, how? Like, how are you like this? I'm like, well, let me tell you.
So what was the one of the biggest tools that you used to maintain your positivity?
Well, I mean, at that time, it was really just affirmations, positive self-talk, being careful what I said. And over the years, it's kind of developed into, all those things, of course, and just adding different tools like, essential oils, especially all the emotion oils. I'm super,
Mhm.
super drawn to those. Like an oil called Joy. Yeah, that's my jam for sure. So I just love them so much. And also I've really looked into and researched things like quantum physics and, but like in a dumbed down version for the average person to understand, because quantum physics is intense.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, those are the things that have really helped me on this journey. Because sometimes like your emotions kind of try to get the best of you. And so it's important to have different tools that you can use to just rein yourself back in and not
Yeah.
freak out.
Yeah. I was hyperventilating this morning before I valored up.
Right. Exactly.
No word of a lie.
I believe it.
So you are a certified AFT practitioner. So
Mhm.
where does that fit into your journey? Like, how did that come about? I'm curious.
Um, well, I mean, to be totally honest, my boss told me I had to get certified, so I was like, "Mm, okay," um, and so I did. And it was like I was already attracted to it because it was such an amazing tool to be able to help people work through trauma, which has been a huge part of my life, unfortunately. And so I was really drawn to being able to overcome hurdles and overcome self-sabotage and that kind of thing, just by like sitting through a session and smelling some oils and like remembering some stuff. I was like, okay, I can really get on board with this.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like 2.5 years ago. And in the last 6 months even, I have helped so many people just go through blocks and things that have been keeping them stuck for years, like since
Mm-hmm.
childhood kind of thing. And they have no idea why. And so it's so cool to be able to just walk someone through that and see the light in their eyes again, and be like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this is what's been holding me back, and now I can move forward without this thing blocking my way anymore. I even told my husband the other day, I was like, I keep pinching myself. Like, how do I get to do this? Like, this is so cool. So yeah, I love it.
Maybe we should backtrack and tell the people what AFT
What
is.
AFT is. So AFT, it stands for Aroma Freedom Technique. And essentially you're using essential oils to just help create a lasting mindset shift. And so you typically want to choose a goal that has been a struggle for you. So whenever you choose this goal, it's got to be, something that you feel like as soon as you say it out loud, like I'm at my goal weight or something like that, and you're nowhere near, and you kind of get that, I mean, that's just not a true statement. Then those are the kind of goals that we work through to figure out why it is you've been self-sabotaging yourself subconsciously. And so the reason that aroma freedom technique works, it was developed by a psychologist, so that's helpful. But it really works because whenever trauma or things like that happen to us, it just it sticks in our cells.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't understand why, especially if it's happened, as a child. You have no conscious memory of it, but your cells remember. And so when that trauma happened, your brain is trying to protect you from it happening again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where self-sabotage comes in, and you're like, man, I can't figure out why I keep, whenever I get to this point, I just keep doing the same thing, and I don't want to, and I don't mean to, but it just keeps happening. And
Mm-hmm.
it's because it's your brain trying to protect you from going through that feeling again. And so essential oils are, scent is the only thing that can get to the limbic system of your brain. And that's why essential oils are so powerful, to be able to get to that point. And the limbic system of your brain is the emotional center. So that's where all your emotions are stored. And if we can't get to them consciously, and we can't, just go up in there and be like, okay, hey, let's stop stressing about this memory.
Mm-hmm.
We have no control over that. So AFT helps you basically get to a place where, instead of if you think of a CD skipping, it's just skipping and skipping and skipping. It's like AFT comes in and smacks the CD player, and you're like, oh, okay, I can continue going now. It's the best way I can think to describe
That's
it.
a great description.
Right, because you're just you're stuck in the same pattern again and again and again, and you need something to come and smack you gently.
Gently.
Gently, and in a sweet, loving, comforting way.
Yeah.
Not like a horrifying you just got smacked in the face kind of way. And so that's what it does, in just a really gentle way. And it just helps you put the past back in the past and leave it there, instead of it rearing up again and again
It takes
and just
power away
messing
from it.
with you. Exactly.
Alrighty. Well, I think those are all of the questions I have. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
Um, the only thing, like you and I talked about before, if ever anyone is finding themselves struggling and not being able to just move past an area in their life that they really want to, then I do one-on-one sessions and group sessions. So I would be happy to help facilitate that, so that you don't have to stay stuck anymore, because it's really a frustrating place to be in,
Yeah.
and it's not how we were created to be. So
No.
yeah.
Alrighty. Well,
Awesome.
thank you for joining me today.
You're so welcome.
And I will see you later.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.